we have 4 sections today. First is introduction about Elron and procurement in overall way. Then is our project managers, Raul Alexar's part, scope of works, schedule and requirements. And then our legal Merle Lember will introduce tender rules. At the end of info session, we let some time for questions and answers. What is impossible to answer through the information session can be collected as input from partners of the market, and we consider how to take this into account or answer to questions. All questions, of course, will be shared regarding answers to others. We prefer everything what is needed to ask through tender environment during the tender. About Elron. Elron is a 100% state-owned public limited company, and our responsibility is organize passenger train traffic in Estonia under the Elron brand. And our operation is carried out based on public service agreement. This is agreement with our Estonian government, and they order from us capacities what we have to carry out during the year. And status of state-owned enterprise, our owner expectations is a basis of our operation and our strategy. Main manager of infrastructure in Estonia, where we are operating, is Estonian Railways Ltd and Elron. Estonian Railways Ltd is a public-owned infrastructure, but Elron is a private-owned, also publicly accessible infrastructure. Main reason why we are thinking about new depot and why it is so important to move forward here is rising of Elron's fleet. Currently, we operate with 38 trains. 38 trains from Stadler Flirt trains. 20 of them are diesel engines trains, and 18 are EMUs, electrical trains. In next year, there will be already 6 new Škoda trains physically in Estonia. They start to operate and serve passengers on 2025, but physically they will be already here, and the test runs will start. And also these trains need space in maintenance workshop. And in period 2026 till 2027, there will be additional 10 Škoda EMU trains. So it is a very big raise of fleet, 42% more trains than today, and it needs really another conditions for good maintenance and keeping of these trains. Just for background information, we have approximately 200 departures daily, so quite tight traffic on Estonian network. And figures giving some impression of quality parameters in our services: punctuality, technical reliability, and just interesting to know also energy per passenger. Here is Estonian network where passenger trains are operating, and a new depot will be planned here in Ülemiste, beside of Tallinn. Today's depot is here in Pääsküla. Here is also quite much problems today's depot and the traffic density. All trains which must get into maintenance, they must go through the Estonian capital, and every train basically closes level crossing when it is moving through the town. This is a big interruption of town road traffic. So we try to get out of this most dense road traffic area and centralize all these maintenance activities into Ülemiste. In further slides you can see, but just already for background information, in Ülemiste there will be also Rail Baltic fleet maintenance depot, and Elron's depot will be on the opposite side of main line, beside of this depot. So maintenance knowledge and resources are there then centralized, and synergy is possible between two depots. So I will start with Raul's presentation. Also, Raul has thick a bit today, and he is helping with some comments and questions, but I continue here also with scope of works and schedule and requirements. Are there any questions still? So more specially about location of new depot, it is here shown with a yellow dotted line, a new depot design area. And on the left side there will be Ülemiste station, and on the right side there will be Lagedi station. And on the opposite side of main line, this is a main line here. Here is a Rail Baltic new maintenance depot planned. And between Rail Baltic depot and Elron's maintenance depot, it is planned make here overbus or underbus. It is under consideration currently, but here will be a connection in future between both depots. And about locations, Estonian partners will know very well this area. No need for deep introduction, but for Europe partners, here is basically airport on the southern side of railway, and this is located in Rae municipality in Tallinn. This is about 3 kilometers from Ülemiste station. This is a good figure to remember and imagine where it is. Now there is a quite large area of this future depot used by Estonian Railways. Estonian Railways infrastructure maintenance yard is here, and in the scope of works, it is replanning also that area so that it is possible to take into use in Elron depot. So it needs relocating of this infrastructure maintenance yard.
We do have one question in chat.
Yes.
When is the time for questions? Right away or at the end together?
It depends. If there are some sudden questions, it is possible to answer during the presentation, but at the end of presentation, it is planned to have a special time for questions. Also, you can send your questions into chat in a written form. So if there is one question, we can try to answer this.
The question was when we should have the time for questions.
Aha, okay. So we answered this question and we can continue. Need for references, experience, and competencies. This is interesting and important area, and explaining this standard scope. So railway track design experience have to be presented. Experience of modern passenger train depot. This is also quite rare experience, but needed it here so that everything is planned based on best and modern practice. A catenary design on a station area. This is more complex than open track catenary design. Signaling system in the station area is also included. This is regarding experience of railway infrastructure. Then other experiences. Depot is not only track, but also includes several facilities, buildings. First of all, experience preparing large-scale detailed plans. This is in Estonian language, detailplaneering. This experience is needed and essential because the work is including that element. Design of large-scale, more than 10,000 square meters industrial buildings or office buildings, environment impact assessment, design of complete depot technological concept. This is also critical. All what is needed for maintenance for maintenance of our current fleet. So Stadler passenger fleet and Škoda passenger fleet. It includes analyzing of maintenance processes of the vehicle life cycle and preparing needed production technology based on that, so that it is efficiently and safely possible to maintain these trains. Several equipment and location of this equipment in the maintenance workshop. And then railway specific information RAMS experience is also needed. Reliability, availability, maintenance and maintainability and safety. There is also second S, security, in last versions of standards added. Then estimated scope of works. We have split it here. We can share this block scheme also into larger picture. Here it is quite bad to read, but just giving you impression work packages, what is included into this design project. Package A is concerning design works what are carried out based on detail planning, detailplaneering. This is a basis for these works. This is everything what is concerning roads and lighting, outdoor design of roads, urban design and landscaping, electricity, low voltage, design of buildings, and here is everything what is basically typical elements of design of industrial buildings. And on the other hand, there is design works based on design conditions in Estonian language projekteerimistööd projekteerimistingimuste alusel. There are special conditions given out for these design works, and these conditions are splitted into the two pillars of design works. One was what was already talking about concerning Estonian railways infrastructure changes, and other is deeply linked to the depot design works. Here is also important, yes, we already talked about competencies and experience. Last slide, I don't go them through here again. Yes. Here is, by the way, I think I can zoom in. Let's try it together. Very good. It is possible to zoom in, and we can then check this work scope together here concerning of detailed planning and regarding building features are building design elements are here also listed. Here is very important element what we want to build up to point out. This is a depot specific building design. What already was mentioned, there is quite much complicated equipment inside of depot, and it is very important to plan areas for this equipment and placement and dependencies between this equipment, so that maintenance procedures are logical and without unnecessary moving something through one part of depot to other. This must be think through the workflow, how the maintenance is reasonable to arrange. And inside of depot there is also elements of catenary, what is also not typical building element, but must be taken into account through the depot practice. And regarding Estonian Railways infrastructure related design works, demolishing project, there is now working infrastructure maintenance yard. It must be demolished, and design works what is needed to carry out that work is part of that tender. Some track changes is needed. External units of networks is included. Urban design, landscaping is typical part. Design of roads and parking lots, external lighting, Ülemiste Soodevahe, connection tracks, catenary, and design of warehouses. So would you like to comment, Raul, something regarding this block scheme? I will move forward here.
I have nothing more to add.
Okay. And regarding third pillar concerning Elron depot, here is a tracks, railway drainage system, catenary, telecom and signaling, railway, external lighting, electricity. Here is also not only local electricity, but also connection to the public network, what is needed to get enough energy into depot area. And railway maintenance roads, platforms. There are platforms for maintenance and cleaning of trains, and carrying out works regarding, for example, refueling of trains and pumping out wastewater from trains, and pedestrian overpass, what we also checked in landscape. This is connecting Elron depot in Rail Baltic's maintenance depot. Okay. Yes. Then about layout. This is very preliminary, and as you see, this is not including geometry. We have tested this area, and we know that basically we will fit in this area, but providing options for geometry is also in the scope of this procurement, but just getting into deeper into details, what does it include in depot functionalities? I will also try to zoom in. Here is also possible to find key measures just to understand amount of works, key parameters of depot area. We can see here in the lower border is a blue line. This is a main line and connection, depot connection to the main line. And if we zoom in, we can see here overbus toward the Rail Baltics depot building, waiting platform for getting workers into depot in the morning. We try to plan this depot in that manner that our personnel can as maximum use trains to get work and get away from work. Entrance of depot, and here is area for cleaning and other works for trains. This is basically area covered with platforms, and here is also as an option basically roof on upside of this track area. Roof is reasonable to keep trains clean, to use less energy for heating, and also giving a good area giving a good area for our workers to work with trains. It is reducing need for cleaning of snow in the winter time, because this is also a problem how to get the snow away from depot area. It is one option to use that kind of roof systems. Painting workshop, trains need painting, and garage here for storage and other options. Here is a main building of depot maintenance workshop, spare parts area for workshop access with tracks, with lorries outside, open storage area, waste area. Here is an entrance road and heavy maintenance track. These are heavy maintenance. Here is a light maintenance, heavy interior cleaning, washing plant is here, train wash area. Basically, all trains must go through this on certain intervals. And here is second covered area for train cleaning and feeding works. Inside of maintenance workshop, there is also profiling, our today's profiling equipment, where basically train wheels will be profiled after certain kilometers. Another profiling area is here outside also. This is if there is sometimes it is defects in the infrastructure, and very many trains get broken wheels, and we have to have certain capacity to reprofile these wheels, because if we don't do it, then we must take these trains away from lines, and it is a big mess and big influence into fulfilling of our agreement with public. We can't use these trails with broken wheels, and it is also issue of safety. So that's the reason why we have two profiling areas. And here are other areas for train parking, testing of trains, section for overhead contact line, 3 kilovolts and 25 kilovolts. Both areas of voltage is in Estonian available. The old catenary system has 3 kilovolts direct current, and new catenary system has 25 kilovolts of alternating current voltage. And these testing availabilities must be planned into depot area. And here is, in the other hand, link to the open network. Both handovers must be planned together with signaling project partner from Estonian Railways, so that Estonian Railways and our depot will work together regarding train traffic signaling. There is an interlocking system in Ülemiste, and in the open line here, it must be interfaced with the interface between depot interlocking and near standing Ülemiste station interlocking most probably is needed. This is more already a work project or construction project issue, but just for background information, equipment areas and cable roads are needed for these connections. Here is also a remark concerning signaling system configuration functionality and parameters and interfaces. These will be worked out during the design project on the concept level and coordinated with Estonian Railways, so that everything will work safely and properly. This slide gives interesting figures also regarding track lengths. This depot area will include about 8.5 kilometers tracks, and that solution, what is covered here, is using 42 turnouts. And there is also connection length this is also referring to main line and needed points there. Would you like Raul to comment here or add something?
Yeah. So I should current situation. I know that there is currently no development for the development of the territory. Although it is not an area subject to the daily planning. Our municipality is of the opinion that the planning procedure must be carried out in order to build the planet large depot building and create connecting roads.
Regarding connection roads.
We believe that the depot building should be accessible from both side entrance, at least for the light maintenance, which allows maintenance of 2 trains on the 1 track. Heavy maintenance tracks can be dead ends because the activities on these tracks are more long term and the flexibility is not needed, like on the maintenance tracks.
Can you, Raul, repeat?
In the washing plant and icing are placed alongside of the depot building, but it may be reasonable to move it elsewhere. Here, what we need a clear preference of the contractor based on his previous experience. We understand that in order to find a reasonable layout solution, compromises are inevitable and we are ready for it. But when making a price offer, we still ask providers to consider the maximum scenario.
So, Raul, you
continue, please.
Can you a bit comment the beginning of your comments? This was a terrible connection. We can't hear you correctly. This is something about access roads, I remember.
Access roads?
Yes. What?
Access roads, we think, should be accessible from both side entrance.
Mm-hmm.
At least for the light maintenance.
Okay.
But which allows maintenance of 2 trains on 1 track.
Okay. Can we continue, or would you like to add something more?
No, thanks.
Thank you. Then, regarding schedule, preliminary schedule, just roughly going through here is split it into 2 pillars, our work packages. First one is concerning Elron's maintenance depot, and based on this schedule, we would expect to sign a contract at least in March. We see that now it is already quite soon, end of November, then that is December and Christmas, and most probably a tender will take a time in that way that getting results from tender and possible additional information requests. So it will be need also February to reach into conditions to sign the contract. Merle will talk about more at last section of our presentation about legal and tender questions. Then there will be clarified a minimum tender length and procedures around this. And then there will be sketch solution for initial detailed planning. Detailed planning, detailplanering in Estonian language. Then is coordination and acceptance of sketch solution and study by Elron and Rae municipality. Acceptance of preliminary design here in dark gray. This is a zeros period. Permit application for railway infrastructure. Acceptance of master design. This is also needing in the same way the time. And so I just comment that this is a result of this procedure. This is not all the acceptance procedure. This is a period where master design is carried out and accepted. The same comment is to preliminary design. Establishment of detailed planning and permit application for depot building here, and some buffer is also reserved. So basically, starting from the first quarter of 24, we would like to be ready in 26. This is a quite tight work period and needs much efforts from our side and also from our partners. And on the other hand, there is Estonian Railways infrastructure on the infrastructure maintenance yard area, everything what is needing to rebuild it in another way and to free areas for Elron's depot. This is also split it into signing a contract, same contract. We are not yet decided finally whether we put it into the tender as a one package or we put it into the tender as a two separate packages. So tenderer can give a price for both of them and we find a winner of a tender also for both pillars. But now it is synchronized regarding signing of contract here. Sketch solution, acceptance of preliminary design. This is also including design works and including acceptance works. Permits, application for railway infrastructure and acceptance of master design. Also design works together with coordination. And some buffer here in the end. This is must be carried out till the middle of 2025. So this is a preliminary schedule what we see today for carrying out this project work. Main guidelines and standards applicable to the Elron depot regarding so we split it into 5 sections. First of all is Estonian Railway Act. Then there are Estonian rules for using of infrastructure. This has also annexes. And then Estonian Railways has their procedures and guidelines carrying out design works on Estonian Railways infrastructure. This is separate package of documentation. And Elron propose, we see that the most best way covering railway infrastructure nowadays, principles and procedures, the same package what is in Finland used by Finnish Transport Infrastructure Agency. This is available through this link. We have in Estonia practice that on the Edela Raudtee Rapla-Lelle section design works, there was also used Finnish Traffic Infrastructure Agency guidelines for railway geometry design. And we see that it is one good option also in our case. If something is some elements maybe presented in separate way than in this design guidelines package, then basically contractor must carry out analyze how they can be fit into the design and how it will be work. This rise most probably in situation where there will be used some turnouts which are not covered with Finnish railway design guidelines. Then it is needed to check separately if other type of turnout is reasonable to use. Then contractor and Elron will go it through and decide what must be taken into account. And there are also other EU and Estonian legislation, standards, guidelines, and best practices what may be reasonable to use in the design works. Here is also disclaimer: everything what is not mandatory and strictly applicable, then there is possible to use alternative standard or guideline, but equivalent standard or guideline, but contractor have to prove that it is really equivalent and reaching out to the same quality as these proposed guidelines and standards. What next? Info session materials will be sent out to participants. Then we plan to make a platform for voluntary networking of partners. Elron gives out just a networking platform, and it will be accessible to everyone through our webpage link. We will share it through the news section, and then partners who see that their services or expertise is fitting with this tender needs, they can send short presentation of their company and their services with contacts, and Elron can put this information to that platform. So Elron is not participating in this networking process, but Elron makes it possible. And you all who would like to participate in the tender, you can check the companies and services and make your agreements and find suitable combo to prepare a bid, and of course work there together after the tender if you will win. So this is completely voluntary, and we are here just making it possible as a platform. This is already common practice in Estonia. We know that Estonian Railways also used that in the large tenders where basically very much competence is needed, and it's very difficult to get enough good team during the tender time. It is good already to start before tender, and this platform is for that. Then regarding tender, we see that tender is possible to open about 2 weeks after getting design conditions in Estonian language, projekteerimistingimused. So we are, as Elron applied for design conditions, but the process is ongoing, and we would like to put a complete package of design conditions into tender so that in future our contractor understand the scope and demands of work. This is Estonian procedure of building. And now we are waiting this back from our local authority. Deadline of submission of the offers is approximately 3rd week of January. This is what we see currently based on expectations when there will be design conditions available. Yes, but thank you from my side. I give word now our legal Merle Lember. So please, Merle.
Thank you. I see that there is one more question in chat, but maybe I finish my part and then we take all the questions together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's have a quick overview of this tender process. All tender documents will be published in our local procurement register. This register is also available in English mode to use. Only this contract notice will be also published in TED, Tenders Electronic Daily. But all this tender process will be in our local register. And below you see some links available for additional information. First is regarding technical regulations, and the other link is regarding qualification recognition. This is additional information, but all necessary information will be available in public procurement documents. Next. And do this tenderers not have used our procurement register before, there is possible to use video guidance to get to know this our register and how to use it. This tender will be open procedure. That means that no negotiations are allowed. After negotiations are not allowed after this closing date to submit tenders. It is possible to ask questions before closing date. The procurer is obliged to answer within 3 working days. And via these questions and answers procedure, it is possible for tenders to present some sort of proposals how to amend the public procurement documents. But it will be only for the procurer to decide whether to adopt any of these proposals or not. All communication between a procurer and tenders must be conducted via procurement register. We are obliged to make all the questions and answers publicly available for all to see. Only unless this question is regarding very concrete tender or very concrete tenderer, it will be private to see only for the person to ask the question. But the main policy is that all the questions and answers must be available to all participants. Tenders after this closing date will be opened electronically. We don't have any common seating here to open them all together. After the tenders are opened, the procurers committee starts to work. We will go through all the tenders, analyze and evaluate them. And if it is necessary, we can ask questions from you to specify the information in tender documents, but it is not allowed for us to ask documents which are already not presented together with the tender documents. After the closing date is due, it is not possible to present any additional documents to the tender. All information about the decisions of the procurer will be also presented via this procurement register. And after the last decision before this procurement contract is granted, the successful tenderer must present us proof documents about absence of these grounds for exclusion and regarding meeting qualification criteria. Considering all the information before, it is expected that after presenting all the tenders and closing date, it will take 1 to 3 months before we actually can get to this signing of the contract. And additionally, there is the standstill period, which is 14 days, and it is not allowed to sign the contract during the standstill period. I think this is maybe roughly it.
Okay, we reached to end. And before we enter to the question section, I would just summarize that, as you see, that this tender is having quite much elements would need separate partners. So please try to collect suitable and trustable teams. We see that it is impossible to carry out without local partners. So possible participants from outside of Estonia, please try to find trustable and experienced local partner, because the work scope demands much work in Estonian language, in municipalities, in authorities, in a way of interacting with Estonian railways. This is not possible to do if you don't have experience with that kind of works. And on the other hand, local partners, please consider that the work scope is very complicated. We have our depot is built in 50s or 60s. What was it? Not very many years ago. And after that, technologies are changed, trains are changed. And this experience is not available in Estonia and maybe even in Baltic states. So we see that it is needed to find partners who have experience with modern new depots in Europe, for example, somewhere, and consult with them, first of all, regarding technologies, regarding workflows, regarding best practices, and regarding layout of depot. Because 8.5 kilometers of track is possible to put down in a very several way, and some of these are more reasonable and giving good solution, and some of them are just a solution what is very difficult to use and needs much maintenance during the life cycle. Yes, this is just for summarizing. But now is the time for questions. We say that all questions we can't answer here, but we take them as remarks. We know that that kind of questions will rise, and we try to consider them in our tender documentation and next actions. So please.
Maybe we will read these questions from chat and answer them, and then
Yes.
we'll go to live questions if we have.
Let's do it this way.
First question was about environmental issues. Old depot soil is possibly contaminated by diesel oil, etc. Are there any geological investigations available?
We think that it will be described in conditions, what is needed to do and what is needed to take into account. Yes, this is important to take into consideration of planning and design process.
And the other question is, will the documents and requirements will be in English?
Yes, we can comment currently that we provide a free translation for use your own responsibility, just to get quickly into the same page with conditions and scope of tender, but Estonian language documentation will be prevailing.
Yes.
Is it correct?
True.
Yes.
The third question appeared, will this presentation be available to receive on email?
Yes. If you send us, I jump back, email, just a few slides. We have depot project email here available. Yes. And if I am correct, it is also in news sections in Elron webpage. I can show everyone if you don't find it. So can you see our webpage?
Yes.
Yep.
So here is a news regarding, and here is this depot project email address. You can copy it here and ask for info session materials. So next question.
Doing both the detailed planning and design in parallel creates a larger risk for change in the design. Will this risk be only borne by the contractor?
So you mean that if there is in the middle of design will be changes?
I can clarify the question. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, so the question is that if we take good practice into consideration, the process is that we do the detail planning and afterwards we do then the design process. Because the detail planning process, first of all, it takes a lot of time, and secondly, there are a lot of inputs that come from both the local municipality and also from, for example, utility network providers and also, for example, the environmental board and etc. etc. So if we go on with the detail, for example, the preliminary design in parallel with the detail planning and also with the detail design in parallel with detail planning, if there are some changes that will come as an input from the detail design process, move the building, make the building smaller, and etc. This risk of redesigning then, will this have to be considered only by the designer or the contractor in this way, or will the contract for this procurement be also in some points cover these points? If there are changes, how will they be agreed on? Are there additional works considered, or is it, or the risk is only borne by the contract?
I will start answering, but I ask help also from Raul and Merle. In Estonia, and not only Estonia, and it is a common practice everywhere that the tender has some buffer, some percentage of cost, what is possible to use in reasonable way when there will be changes. What was not expectable at the beginning of the scope. Is it, Merle, right? You would like to clarify?
Yes, I think we need a moment how to put it in our procurement plans.
Because it creates a really large risk. For example, yes, the detailed planning process, you have drawn it in the time schedule as a fixed amount of time. We would like to point your attention to that the average time for a detailed planning to take from the start to the end is, for example, in Tallinn is roughly 6 years. In Raevald, it's more or less 3 to 5 years for a detailed planning to go from beginning to the end. So considering the length of these processes, the time schedule creates a really large risk, so that we start with the detailed planning, we do the design, we do the preliminary design, the detailed design, and then there's, for example, 2 years before the detailed plan is actually confirmed. So yeah, the question is that if we take these average application times into consideration, then this time schedule creates a huge amount of risk.
We completely understand your concern, and we just think that we have to write it down, this situation, into our tender documentation in that way that it is working to you and to us and supporting us between this. We think it through and we take it into account. Thank you for this question.
Okay.
All in chat.
So chat questions are now answered. Are there any questions? Just one comment more, maybe. We also would like to use new procedure in our design practices. This is not straightly answering last question, but this is about changes of project and what does it. We would like to have a document between us and contractor where basically we will describe certain decisions, how to solve some special cases, and if there will be changes afterward, then it is possible to be there clear and check into design principles document and understand what is additional work and what is basic package of tender works. That kind of document is planned to take to support our design procedure, design process. But more questions? Is there something what Raul you would like to point out or comment?
Good. I saw there is this question about geological investigations.
Geological investigations is a part of work scope. We take it into account also into our plan of how it's a building plan, or so geological works need technology, need resources, and need laboratory work And when everything is done, results from laboratory are on the table, that is possible also to get money for these works. This is no need to wait till the design, for example, till the preliminary design end. Geological work and geotechnical work package is separate there, and possible to bill also separately.
I have no questions. First, the recorded meeting from today we can download where?
As we talked very beginning of our session, we will put it on our web page news section. You can see it here. We have news, and in news sections, please refer news which are concerning depot. And if you don't find how to download it, then please just send us an email to this. I have to share the screen. This depot email, and we will show you where the link is and how you can download this. I will jump back to the presentation. Yes, so this link here. If you can't find this recording from our news section of Elron webpage, then please send us email and we find a way how to share this recording with you.
Next question. Can you reveal the expected value of the assignment?
This is basically information session rules second point here. We gone it through at the very beginning. Contracting authority cannot reveal any specific details, estimated value, or any other information that would give any advantage to participant of information day for preparing the tender. So unfortunately, based on these rules, we can't answer to this question.
Yes.
More questions? We have time, a few minutes more here. If there are no more questions, then thank you all from our side here. Thank you for listening and giving good questions. If you have any suggestions, what is good to take into account based on experience, on your experience, you can send us email. We consider it as a market dialogue. We not will discuss through emails tender details, but we are ready to take your suggestions or your remarks or what you see that it's good to consider when preparing that kind of project and tender. Please send this information to us, and we are very happy if you can send it in PDF format based our internal cybersecurity policy. It is not so simple. We don't open links where we are not 100% convinced that this is based on point of view of cybersecurity good to open. It's better to send attachments, documents in attachment.
We have one raised hand.
Yes, please.
I have a question regarding Rail Baltic Harju County planning. With this planning, this county planning, great separated junction was future grade separated junctions was planned at the same location as this depot area. Is this somehow taken into the account? Does this influence the scope of works, or is this something that can just be ignored?
Can you, Raul, help us with answer here? Do you, Raul, are you with us? Okay, Raul is expert with this information. I think he can take it into account, but currently we would not answer to this here. You can send this also in written form to us. We can check how to consider this and what is there in background. But what we also can confirm, everything which are planned today is also coordinated with Rail Baltics. So we hope that everything is on the safe side and taken into account in reasonable way and amount. Okay. Any more questions? If not, then we can end our info session today, and thank you all for participation.